原宣多媒体报道，10月15日太平洋时间下午3点召开网上会议，会议的主题是支持陈仁宜博士竞选加州主计长活动。与会有近70位嘉宾参加，由前加州参议员夏勒伯和夫人何美梅女士共同主持会议。本次会议的发言嘉宾有来自商业和住房网络的 Dan 佩女士、中美联盟 Amy 朱女士、Cupertino Sensible Grove Mina Shu 女士、安全社区倡议 Alan Gan 先生、硅谷华人协会委员 Jason Shu 先生。
I'm Lanhee Chen。
陈仁宜博士是一个有抱负、有理想，但并不独善其身且有入世的精神，愿意为社会奉献的一个年轻人。他有十分完整的职场经验，特别是在公共政策方面，为2位总统及3位总统候选人做高级公共政策的顾问，学历方面也是十分惊人了。他在哈佛大学一共拿了4个学位，包括法学及政治学博士和其他2个学位。现在在史丹佛大学法学院及胡佛研究所任教。他的选举得到的主流媒体的重视，特别是洛杉矶时报给予他十分强劲的背书，当时令许多人大跌眼镜，难以相信一个极左的媒体竟然大力支持一个共和党的候选人。如果不是加州目前的情况令人担忧，这个媒体至于出力支持陈博士吗？那是因为在审查了陈博士的履经历之后，意识到陈博士出色的能力，在一片乱象之中给予加州居民带来了希望。因为多数加州的居民的诉求是一个和谐，企业能够蓬勃发展，大多数人能过住他们曾经有的好日子，不用继续面对住因管理不当的政府，导致了企业及个人必须承受高额的所得税、汽油税、高涨的通货膨胀等令人忧心的事情。一位合格的主计长不但要有良好的履经历，更要有十分的决心及勇气，执行主计长办公室独立的审查机制，来为加州所有的居民们把关，做到政府不会无谓的浪费纳税人所缴的税金。接下来是部分会议现场记录，希望社区朋友们参加我们的行列，一起支持陈仁宜博士竞选加州主计长，为未来加州纳税人看好大门。
Me too, right? Sorry. Yeah. Anyways, good afternoon, everyone. I am Mamie Huff. And while I know many of you, but I don't know all of you. So it is a pleasure to see you online. And thank you for attending today's virtual gathering with Dr. Lanhee Chen.
In various parts of the Bay Area where I live. But the point you make about local control is very important. I'm a big advocate for local control and making sure that cities have the opportunity to make decisions about issues that affect their residents. It should not be the case that the state of California tells a community or a county tells a community what it has to do in this regard. I think local control is extremely important.
May, I work with her a lot for this Zoom meeting, and Mrs. Huff and Mr. Huff as well, to make this happen. Yeah, she spent a tremendous effort for that. Definitely, we appreciate Mr. Chen for this chance for us to meet and greet you and know you well and figure out how we can support you to run the state controller. Again, I just want to give you a rough introduction about BAHN. BAHN Business and Housing Network was set up in 2015 to provide a platform to mom and pop housing providers in California. We headquartered in Bay Area, but we do have a chapter in Southern California. We mainly provide education to our members to help them manage properties. BAHN tried to collectively put effort to lobby housing-friendly policies because we want our members to provide safe and affordable housing to renters in California. At the same time, as the mom and pop small business owners, we really hope California can create business-friendly policies to our for the mutual benefits for the housing providers and the renters as well. We know there's a housing shortage in California right now. We really hope, housing providers, renters, developers, most important government can work together to solve, to figure out a feasible plan to solve the problem. At the same time, we can contribute Good.
I just hope, we know California has a housing crisis, but we hope we can take it step by step. And we also support candidates who have the financially conservative side. We think the financial control is very important in current California government. We support candidates with accountability. Yeah, that's all.
In our growth of organization, the first one certainly is the SCA5, which Bob and Mimi was aware of that. And we went into a support of Catherine Baker, the first Republican state assembly woman, for a very long history. And we, as an organization, we put in 5,000 manpowers in supporting her campaign, and she got elected, and she served for 2 terms. So the next big event is also associated with Bob and Mimi. We organized activity to fight a bill called 1726. I'm sure Bob and Mimi remember that, and try to desegregating Asian data into so that they can so we stop them to apply that data in education field. And the historical event we organized to put a lot of effort into is 2 years ago, Proposition 16, where the major sponsor of no of Proposition 16. So we are a grassroots organization in Northern California, and we have been in existence for 8 or 9 years. And so we are very active in the local support of independent and conservative candidates in the local election. Would love.
Does that mean the best state controller can make the public pension fund lose a lot of value, make people's retirement fund?
The state controller sits on both the CalPERS and CalSTRS boards. Those are the 2 big public pension programs that you noted earlier. What the state controller can do on those boards is make sure that we have honest accounting for what our liabilities are. One of the biggest problems we have in our state is that we are going to end up owing over $1 trillion in benefits that have been promised to state workers and retirees. But right now, we don't actually know how much money we owe because the accounting is not realistic. They never tell us the truth about how much money they actually owe. They apply what is called a discount rate. In other words, they give us a certain assumption about.
I just want to piggyback right on the Mina's comment too, because in our district in San Jose, we've been fighting this homeless issue, tiny house shelter too. We're faced against the city might lose the funding if they don't develop it fast enough. But it's really ridiculous to imagine 100 homeless shelters that each shelter can house 1 to 4 homeless right next to 2 schools, water pond, and public library. So in terms of the state funding, when you say give the local government a chance to manage that, they are forcing it into our neighborhoods, which none of these homeless was out of our neighborhood. We don't have a homeless issue. And with, of course, our initiative is about community safety. And when this outside population introduced to established residential neighborhood, it presents immiscible danger to the public already there. In the parks, public libraries.
元轩多媒体报道，谢谢收看。